Hey YouTube, what's up? Thanks for tuning in. Check this out. I received the new WFLY or WFLY X9 yesterday. This new radio we've waited for more than 2 years, I guess. It was first announced more than 2 years ago. However, I'm not super happy. I pre-ordered it about 1 month or 6 weeks ago, so probably that's the first review you see from a reviewer who has paid for his radio, so it will be not super good, my review. But why did I buy it? I have so many radios. I bought it because of this. It was announced as GPS speed measuring possibility with the receiver. And that's why I also prepared my worthy Alfa Romeo to make some speed measurements tests with this new radio. However, it does not come with a GPS module, what was not announced initially, and you have to buy a GPS module extra. And I found it a few days ago. Those modules showed up on AliExpress. Check them out. They are not super expensive, including shipping about 25 euros, 20 to 30 euros. They are huge. Check it out. And that's the receiver. And this receiver is tiny compared to the GPS module. And the WFLY X9 is announced as 9-channel radio. However, so far it's only a 6-channel radio, because this receiver, and that's the only one that's available so far, that's the RG206S, and I only found it on AliExpress so far, is a 6-channel receiver with I-Bus, S-Bus, and with a port for a GPS module. But as it comes, the radio does not come with a GPS module, and you are not able to measure the speed of your car only by using this tiny receiver. You will have to connect a quite large and heavy GPS module for this. It comes simply packed in a simple box with foam inside, so securely packed, but not super nice, not as nice as the FHSS Noble, for example, and it doesn't come with a lot. There's a super simple manual with the radio, and it's in English. If you watch this, link means bind, so the WFLY radio doesn't use bind for bind, link means bind. This puzzled me initially. And their manual is super simple, you won't need it, honestly. And I searched online for a better, more detailed manual, but there seems to be no better manual so far. I found manual for download, but this was also only this super simple manual. The radio itself looks quite nice. However, not super quality, so it is not comparable to the FHSS Noble in this, for sure not plasticish. Okay, for the price is not super cheap. It's for us here in European Union 150 euros, so you get it for 130 on Banggood if you use some points, coupons, allowances. And that's not much cheaper than the FHSS Noble. I don't know how much it is for people outside European Union, but the Noble is, yeah, it's 200 euros normally, you'd say, or 200 bucks, but nobody pays 200 bucks for its FHSS Noble. I bought my first one more than 2 years ago for 150 on Hobby King, and last year I bought several for buddies for 135 or 40. There are always discounts and you can use coupons, points and whatever, and you will pay normally 160 to 170 for a FLY Sky Noble. That's why the Noble Pro for 400 is too expensive in my opinion. So it's a little bit cheaper, but not much cheaper. But it's about twice as expensive as the new 7-channel FLY Sky Ant, or 50-60% more expensive, but it's a different quality to this 7-channel. Let's come to the negative things first, of course. Check this out. Can you hear this? That's crazy. The batteries. Batteries are simply 4 AA batteries in this bracket. I use, of course, rechargeable batteries. Guys, use rechargeable batteries. Or you can connect a 1S LiPo or lithium ion battery to this port, which uses Dumont plugs, servo plugs. I will use those with rechargeable nickel metal hydride batteries, and that's bad, really. And what comes with the package is such a little piece of foam, but I don't know if that's meant for securing the batteries. That's not possible. However, it's not a big mess with a little bit of foam inside. This sits securely. However, for a 150 or whatever euros radio, this could be better. It also doesn't come with a screen protector, what's quite strange in my opinion. Radio itself, adjustable tension of the steering wheel here by a screw, adjustable tension of the throttle trigger here by a screw, and you can also change the opening dimension for your finger here by this screw. Adjust it to your thumb, to your index finger. It's for people with large hands, it's possible probably to drive one-handed. For me, not really, and you will always touch this trim button here. So looks okay, but not super sophisticated. Here on this side you have a port, USB-C. Does not come with a USB-C cable, however, and that's meant for updating, online updating, and the manual also says for charging. I don't know how this should work for charging. Manual doesn't say more than this is for charging and update. And there's a 3.5mm jack port, and so you can use it for teacher pupil. So you can connect it to a second one and then make this teacher mode, and you can use it for a simulator. Manual says it's possible to use it with a simulator. And then it has for a lanyard opening on-off switch, antenna which can be opened to increase distance, probably not necessary. In front there's a screw. You can insert a screw for a camera, and you have quite a lot of buttons and switches. What do we have? We have 3 trim buttons here, but the awesome thing is you can change the functions of all those buttons to every of the 9 channels. So that's really awesome. So 3 here, then we have push buttons 3, 1 here, 1 here, and a further one here. And then we have 2 turning knobs, one without limit and one with limit, left, right. And then we have 2 3-position switches here. So all of those are quite, maybe this one is the most difficult one to reach. All the other ones are easy to get to, even during driving. So that's quite nice. What else does it come with? It does come with this small bag, and that's labeled external voltage inspection parts includes one wire, resistor and heat shrink. And that's quite strange. I thought that's a voltage detection cable as for the FlySky Nova or the ANT radio. But what's inside? That's a simple cable with a, I guess it's a JST GH 1.25 or even SH 1.0 millimeter plug, don't know what. On the black wire there's a resistor and a piece of shrink tube, and I don't really know how this should work because there is no port on the receiver to insert as you would do it with the FlySky Nova or the FlySky receivers, and then connect it to your LiPo and check the voltage. So that's quite strange since there is no manual. I don't know how this should work and what's up with this simple wire. The receiver has a bind button. Here's a, as it would be waterproof. Manual doesn't say, couldn't read anything about waterproof. Probably it's waterproof, conformal coated, not a big deal. Up to 9 volt, 3.5 to 9 volt. That's nice. You can use it 3.5 volts with 1S LiPo, so you could also use it for super micros. And here you have 6 channels, so not more so far. And you have the I-bus, S-bus out, and you have a sensor port and a GPS port. Here the GPS module has to be connected. Small receiver, looks okay. And can't see if it's conformal coated here. So those are the negative parts. No manual, no speed detection, so no run with my Alpha to check its speed. It's not super fast, but I don't have a lot of fast cars. And the battery is inside. That looks quite cheapish. However, inside, that's absolutely awesome. I played around now for hours to check all the functions, and it's really, really awesome. And it's much easier to use than, for example, the FlySky ANT radio. You saw it in my video, but also in other videos. This knob is quite puzzling and confusing. The menu and the settings are really awesome. It works awesome. It's on factory settings now again, and it has quite annoying functions, as you will hear then. It has sound, what's quite nice for some functions, but annoying too. But you can adjust everything. You really can adjust everything. And I did already, you need 2 hours to explain the 7-channel FlySky ANT radio. I would need 6 or 7 hours probably to explain everything in the new WFLY X9, so I won't do this. I will show you only some highlights. I only can say wow, 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 and it's much easier to use and to program even than the FlySky Nova. So it's an awesome radio here inside. However, if there are no receivers available, no micro receivers, no 9-channel receivers, don't know if you can recommend to buy this radio so far. No, what will happen? When will new receivers be available? What will be the price of a receiver? What types of receivers? So WFLY is a new brand in RC cars, trucks, radios for cars, trucks, boats, tanks, and it has every function you can imagine. So let's turn the receiver on.
Battery 0.0.
Okay, and you hear the voice in quite poor quality is saying the voltage of the receiver battery was completely unnecessary, and it will be repeated about, I guess, every minute. Totally annoying, but you can adjust everything. Here you see the main menu or the main screen. You can adjust everything. That's factory settings. You have the timer here, the factory settings,
Timer
like the
start.
timer start here and timer pause here
Timer reset.
and timer reset here. And you have here the speed and you have the external voltage. I don't know how to detect this. If somebody knows how this works, please tell me in the comments. And you have the voltage of the receiver battery, what's totally unnecessary. You see channel 1, channel 2 throttle, and channel 3. Where's
Maximize DL. Receiver battery 6.1.
you see it?
Maximize DL.
That's super annoying, but you can adjust and switch off and do all this stuff.
Minimum VR. Center VR.
But there are also nice
Maximize
functions.
VR. Center VR.
I like voice. Sometimes I use it in my Spectrum DX9 Black for my helicopters and planes, and I really love it. They are for announcing the voltage or the time, timer countdown, and also if I change flight modes in this. So that's only how it's set from the factory. That's the trim, and you hear if you go down, sound frequency goes down too. And I go up, higher pitch,
Center trim.
higher pitch, and that's nice. Center pitch. I want to hear this because I can't.
Center trim. Center trim.
And for
Receiver
throttle,
battery 6.1 volt.
receiver battery, super annoying. Go up, higher frequency, go down,
Center trim.
lower frequency. And if you stay, it will stop at 0. Check.
Center trim.
So that's super, super nice. Then we have dual rate here. What
Center VR.
factory settings
Center
is, oh, that's
VR.
here. But you can change, as already mentioned, everything.
Maximize.
And then you have,
Maximize DL.
you can touch the screen to the functions and get to the menu directly. For example, timer. Timer works awesome. You can set it up in many different modes. Go to the settings, telemetry voice settings, and you have a lock button here. If you stay here, now it's locked.
Receiver battery 6.1 volt.
But the voice tells me again every minute receiver battery voltage. So now it's locked, and then you have two menus. And that's quite puzzling initially. For what two menus? One menu, normal menu, you can't change or arrange it, and a user menu. And this user menu you can adjust and arrange to your own likings. You see user menu settings and all the points. I, for example, would not like dual rate here on first position, but for example, I would like the model menu here. Okay, and that's now my menu, and you can make shortcuts for everything. Model menu, change model. The model has a count, time count. You can also set this for, now it counts.
Receiver battery 6.1
Yes,
volt.
yes, we know 6.1 volt. So it counts every second it's on this model. You can change this also to only, it counts the time for if throttles pulled or steering or whatever. 1000 functions. So that's the user menu, and everything you'll find in the user menu you will also find in the menu. In menu you have base settings, simple. Dual rate, for example, is of course for all 9 channels. Speed is super nice. For example, check steering speed here. You can turn and return and change the speed. You can change speed for all 9 channels, but check the speed of the servo now.
Receiver battery
On
6.1 volt.
you can change it. If you go up, it will be slower. So I go up now for turn, but not for return. To 65, for example. Check it out. It goes up very slow now and goes back in normal speed. Normal speed is maximum speed. Of course, you can change both. Super slow and super slow. That's quite nice. Reset. And you can do this for every channel. And curve is also a super nice. That's the best curve programming way I've ever seen, I guess, in all my radios. You see we have steering here. You can set the curves for all 9 channels. Super nice.
6.1 volt.
Wow, shut up. Curve. So, and you can make different types of curve. Exponential, as you know, and all of us know, an exponential curve. But there are 2 more possibilities. Point. What's quite nice, you have not really 6 points, 5 different points, but you see now we have the line here and we can change the curve here and we can change it on
receiver battery 6.1 volt.
5 different positions. What's strange here, and I don't know if that's a bug, if WFLY is watching this, if I go to center, normally you would think center is here, but center is here at, I guess, 33%. So you have after center position only 5, what seems to be center position, and 6 for plus, and no more points or where you can change. But you have 3 that's here and 2 that's here. So that's maybe a bug. I'm not sure. In my opinion, center should be in center.
Receiver battery 6.1 volt.
Let's reset them. So this is super nice. I don't know how useful it will be for cars and trucks. Yeah, maybe. But anyway, super nice. Super sophisticated to set. Really, really good. Of course, you can set failsafe for every channel. You can reverse every channel, of course. Subtrim every channel, of course. You trim settings, you can totally parallel center, totally sophisticated, and everything for every channel. And endpoint is also quite nice because you can
receiver
change
battery 6.1 volt.
Yes, and that's annoying. I will switch it off later. Check it out. You can of course set the endpoints for all channels, so for all 9 channels, but you can also set the limit, and it's not limited up to 120 here. You can go up to 150 plus and 150 minus. That's, and for all 9 channels. So really, really nice. So those were the base settings. Throttle functions, ton of adjustability. The timer is super nice. You can change the mode. up, down, lap. You can count the laps, and then you can set a button for counting your laps. So now I changed it to lap. Here is still start and stop,
Timer
but
pause.
no lap. And we have to go to advanced menu, channel settings, and I will set lap here to PS3 now, for example. You see all the different buttons, and now PS3 is servo view, this. And I will go back and set PS3 now to lap count. You can set everything. Where's timer lap? Timer lap? Yes.
Receiver
Timer
battery
lap.
6.1 volt.
So here I have now still
Start.
timer start and timer pause, but I want lap.
Lap 1.
I counted 1 lap now. You can use every button for this.
Lap 2.
And you don't have to go into the menu to see this. Push it here, and you see here now we have lap and lap list open. And here you see lap 1, 7 seconds, lap 2, 7.8,
Lap 3.
lap 3, average time. Oh, so super, super, super nice.
Timer pause.
Timer pause, timer
reset.
reset. What else do we have? Super nice. You have everything. Brake mixing, steering mixing, condition
Receiver
is...
battery 6.1 volt.
This condition is also a super nice function, and I will show it to you now. If we go to the main screen, you see here C1, this small C1, that's condition 1. And if you switch on condition, you do now have the possibility to change dual rate, speed, curve, and trim settings between 2 conditions and change by 1 button. So I push it now and let's use the PS3 again for this, or let's use PS2, this button here. So PS2, user menu, condition. Okay, now I have PS2 condition. Go to the main screen. Come on. No. Main screen, you see there's C1,
6.1.
and I switch it now, and here's condition 2. And I can now change the settings. Let's go again, advanced menu, condition. The settings of dual rate, speed, curve, or trim settings, or all of those between condition 1 and 2. You have to, of course, switch it on. Let's do speed. Let's switch speed on. And now we have condition 2, condition 1. And the speed of the steering servo is normal. And now let's go to condition 2. Let's go to menu, base settings, speed, steering, turn, and now let's...
Receiver battery 6.1 volt.
Let's make it super slow now. Okay, and you see, it's now super slow. I'm in condition 2. So, super slow, condition 2, and...
Condition 1.
Oh, it tells you, condition 1.
Condition 2.
Condition 2. That's super nice. What else do we have? Model menu, of course, 40 models, but if there are no receivers, advanced menu, I guess condition, program, you can every mixing you can imagine, tank mixing, of course, and four-wheel steering, you can program mixing. Dual ESC four-wheel mixing is quite nice because you can, of course,
receiver battery 6.1 volt.
Use every mixing or whatever, and you can do it, switch it on or off. You can use any of the buttons or knobs for this. So, for example, any you want, yeah. So you see here, where is here four-wheel steering mixing. I use PS1 now. PS1 is this one, which is now for the timer, and you can, to your liking, select only two types. For example, here we have front steering and all-wheel steering, or three types. Then you have this grab mode, or four types, only rear-wheel steering, and additionally mixing and change
Receiver
ratings.
battery
So and switch, you have to
volt.
oh, PS1, yeah, in the setting it's set it to PS1. So I have now here four-wheel steering and reverse, normal, rear steering.
Front steering.
That's nice, isn't it? That's really nice.
Reverse, normal, rear steering, front steering.
Okay. Linkage menu, that's binding. Why don't they call binding? You can start, you have to press the bind button in the receiver, then it starts blinking as usual. You can even change the port settings of your receiver, seems. You can change servo types for every channel differently.
6.1 volt.
And 180 to 70 degree servos. So absolutely awesome. And system menu, also battery. Okay, battery calibration. You can do calibration, of course. So I have now transmitter 4.9 volt, probably that's correct, but you could calibrate it. And okay, the alarm is to 4.6 volt. I charged those nickel metal hydrides before, and I don't think 4.6 volt is the alarm stuff I want. That's much too high for nickel metal hydrides. 4 volt is okay, vibrate now.
Receiver battery 6.1 volt.
Receiver, okay, alarm, it's from the ESC. 4.2 volt, why that? And how can we change this? No ESC, BSC, I know does have 4.2 volt. They have 5.5, 6 volt or high voltage. Custom. Now in this Tamiya, what is it? She tells it every minute, 6.1 volt.
Receiver battery low, 6.1 volt.
Now it says low. Okay, that's the alarm function. Okay. That's stupid, and we should switch this off. And for the external,
receiver battery 6.1 volt.
you can power the receiver probably directly by one of those batteries. Don't know what's that for now. I would then want to switch off the annoying voice. Home screen set, also super nice. You can change every setting. You can you see you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 different areas here, and now that's coach for voltage and coach for velocity, the speed, and the timer here. But you can also switch this. You can upload an image if you have, probably you can switch it off. So I switched off, for example, the timer now. Oh, these are even 3. So check the main menu. No timer here.
6.1 volt.
And you can switch off everything. Display, backlight, you can adjust, of course, the intensity, the brightness, you can the minimum, and you can change this theme. What you see mostly, this does only the black one on the pictures of the ads. That's the black theme. So display, theme, black, if you like this. I guess it's better not to, I guess it was orange or whatever.
Receiver battery 6.1 volt.
Then you can, the steering LED is here, steers to the right and to the left. You can use different types for this. You see now, that's for nothing. That's only, I don't know why they do it. It's, you can reverse it, and you can change the LED color, of course, to blue and whatever. And here for braking is red, and you can change the LED color too. So that's the same color here. Steering, and here
battery low 4.8 volt.
That's for people who like to play. Language you cannot really change. It's only English. So even not Chinese, no German. I know many people will complain. Kein Deutsch nicht. Yeah. And
receiver battery 6.
Factory reset.
1 volt.
Check this out. I reset it to factory settings now. And now we are back again. What else did I want to show you? Trainer and simulator. Here you can go normal trainer mode, so teacher and student. You can, oh, not pupil, student. You can use your radio as trainer or a student, and you can use it for a simulator.
Transmitter battery low.
Sound and vibration.
Volt.
That's the intensity of sound. But where can you switch off this telemetry voice? Status on.
Receiver battery 6.1 volt.
Alarm duration 60 seconds.
Transmitter battery low 4.8 volt. Transmitter battery low.
Now it says it
volt.
all up. All 7 seconds, that's okay.
Low 4.8 volt.
I don't want this.
6.
Oh, 60 seconds is the maximum. I want to switch it off, and I have to check how to do this now. I want that she tells me when I'm here in center position.
Maximize VR.
That's nice.
VR.
But
Center VR.
But I don't want the alarm.
Transmitter battery low. 4.8 volt.
Have to check this how to.
Transmitter battery low. 4.8 volt.
And now.
Maximize VR. Center
Okay,
VR.
now it should be off.
VR. Center
It
VR.
should be off. And I found something else I wanted to show you. Video again is much too long. The channel settings and you have step and in the channel settings, steps and direction and position. So that's super nice too. For example, you can let's go, what's now steering trim DT1. That's steering trim, that's okay.
Battery low. 4.8
and it goes
volt.
2 steps now.
Center trim.
Check it out, DT1. Steering,
Center
that's
trim.
2, and you can change this to more or less steps. So you see,
Maximize trim. Center trim. Minimum trim. Center trim.
or only one, and then
Maximize trim.
so many more steps.
Center trim.
Super nice. Let's go to 2 again. And position, you can also change the position of the center.
Transmitter battery low. 4.8 volt.
Well, I stop now. This video again is much too long. This radio is absolutely awesome in its functions. I really love it. You can play for hours with it. It has unbelievable adjustability. In this matter, it's even much easier and to handle. And
Transmitter battery low. 4.8 volt.
than the Fly Sky Noble, but in everything else, the Noble is for sure the more advanced radio. Do I recommend to buy it? Wait a little bit, I guess. If there will be a lot of receivers available, then it will be a nice radio. It's a new brand. It should be a little bit cheaper compared to the Noble, so 150, 120 to 130 would be a good price, I think, and we need many more different receivers. With only one receiver with 6 channels, it's not a 9-channel radio so far. And please remove this GPS speed measurement from the ads, because that's really annoying. You have to write, there is a GPS module available for the WFLY X9. Will I keep it? Maybe, don't know. Have way too many radios. Yes, and please, someone explains to me how to measure the voltage.
4.8 volt.
And finally, I want this alarm function off. Where is it? Menu, system menu. Sound and vibration. Telemetry voice 0. Okay. Telemetry voice 0. That's it now. Thanks for watching, guys. Again, too long, I know. See you in the next video. I'll be back.